guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to my new subscribers. Today I'm sharing a tutorial on a little mini journal that I created for a challenge in these gorgeous shabby mint and pink papers. I printed my pages on 160 GSM paper and have pre-cut and scored all of my pieces for the purpose of the video. So let's get started. I have printed my front and back cover. Didn't print on the back because it's going to be covered, and this is going to be the insert of my journal, so it's going to go like that. So I have already pre-cut. I just cut along the top and bottom with my paper trimmer and applied some double-sided adhesive paper to the back, and we are going to peel this off. This stuff does not like to peel. I'm only peeling a small section at a time. Folding that back, I'm going to be turning my page over, and of course I've started from the opposite side, and I'm just going to place this down, not going right to the end of the page. I just want to place it down so that it's kind of level. Because it's got a stripe pattern on the other side, you want it to be reasonably straight. So then I'm going to slowly slide the backing sheet off and smooth that down as I go. To stop any air bubbles forming on the sticker paper. And once you're happy that it's all smooth, no air bubbles in there, then I just take my scissors. I prefer to use scissors than the trimmer. Trimming the bottom. Then I take my scissors and just go around the scalloped edge. This is a little fidgety, but I love the end result. Then we do the same to the other side. And if you find you have some little white edges, just ink them with some matching ink and it hides them. And this is what the back inside panel looks like. So now we're going to get our scoreboard. Hoping this is in shot, and I'm going to score just on this side of the white line, and then the same on the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the little score lines there. Now, because this is double-sided and has the adhesive paper in the middle, it is going to take a little bit to score. So I like to fold it in one way first. And then gently bring it back the other way. That stops the risk of cracking your external pages. So that's one side done. That's the other side done. That gives you your little 1/4 inch spine, and once formed, your pages come together like that. So then we're going to take, now it's optional to ink the edges of all your papers. I'm not going to ink these edges. This is my first page that's going to go over this side, and this is the inside panel for that. So we'll move the scoreboard. And first off, I'm going to make sure my patterns are up the right way. I print on the inside of these pages so that if you do see a little bit showing through, it's not going to make a difference. You won't see a white background. So I'm just going to burnish that down. And if you find that you've got some little overhang, I just trim them down. I like to cut my pages a little bigger than what they're supposed to, just so you've got that little bit of wiggle room to trim things down. To take our base page, making sure that you're away from your center spine, which is there, and I'm going to line it up on this line. Some adhesive on the little tab. And I'm going to just maneuver that up just a little bit. And there we have our first page down. Now this tab is going to be hidden by our little base piece, still giving us enough space over this side. Line that up and pop it down over that tab, giving your book page enough space for folding. That's our first side done. Then we'll do the second side. Again, I have already cut and scored my little tab panel down, making sure the paper's the right way up. And placing my pattern piece on the inside. Gone a little bit crooked there, but that's okay, we can fix that up. And I'm going to trim off this overhang. You can see I've got a little bit of pink showing through. I can touch that up with a bit of matching ink, and that will hide that seam. So this time we are going to go on this side. A little bit of glue, and we're coming in on this one here, lining it up so that it's even, still avoiding your spine, and burnish that tab down. So this is our second book page. Place this one in here. And there we have the start of our little journal. Now we're going to add our journal pages into the center of the spine, and to do so I just have marked where I want to poke the holes, and it is 1/2 inch, three and a quarter, should be, yeah, 3 1/4, and 5 3/4. So I'm just going to poke my holes through there. That's one. And then I want to, oops, got a little bit of a mark in there. I want to place my book so that it's in the center. Making sure that the pages are aligned at the top and bottom, and close that over. Nope, I'm going to do it this way. This one through there. That one through there, and that one through there. Now, I've got my 3 lines there, but if they don't look like, well, they've lined up pretty well, but if they don't line up, we cover that spine anyway. And I've got my thread, and I've got it so that it's 3 times the length of my paper. And I'm going to go down through the center of that hole and down through the center of the spine. And leaving this little tail, I'm then going to go up through the top hole, pulling it tight. We're going to go down through the bottom hole, still keeping pretty firm. Then I'm going to come back up through this hole, but staying on the other side of the string. It's there, and then we're going to just make sure that it's got some firmness to it. And tie a little knot. Now you can leave it like that or tie a bow. It's entirely up to you. And then I trim one off at that height and one off at that height. And then we are going to close it up, and that's our beginnings of our little journal. Next, we're going to add some pockets to our journal pages. Now on this one I have pre-cut and scored all my little pockets with the fake stitching that I did on the computer. So we're going to just roughly line them up where we want them to go, and we just overlap these little pockets. Now I kind of want this one to the bottom of that page, move that one down a fraction, move that one down a fraction. So that's about where I want them to sit. So I'm going to move the bottom two away and just put a little line where I want this pocket to go. And then pop some adhesive. Put that first pocket down. Making sure that that's a little crooked so we can slide that down before the glue dries. Pretty good. So then we take the next pocket to just place that one just over the bottom of the first one. And then we pop that one down. Check that it's lined up. And then this one fits nicely on the bottom. And then we have our first lot of little stacked pockets. Open that page up, and then we have our inside pocket. And then again, we just put some adhesive on the tabs. And line that one up in the center. I come in a little bit from the edge so that you've got enough room to close your pages. And that's that pocket done. Then we go to this side. Now this one, I've got a little envelope that I made, but I have printed on the back side so that the envelope is got some colour on the inside, and rather than get my scoreboard out, I'm just folding that over the edge of my ruler to get that straight fold. Now this one you can use as an envelope like that, and then you fold that little top bit over, and there you have your little envelope. But I'm actually going to be doing it this way, cutting this piece. No, I'm not going to cut that off. I'm going to fold that up and make it into a double pocket. So where I've got this, I'm still going to fold these tabs in. Then I'm going to fold this piece down at the front and glue that down. A little bit more glue in there. So instead of being an envelope, it's now going to be a double pocket. So I'm going to just pop a bit of glue along both sides and across the bottom and glue that down on the front cover. Oh, inside page, not cover. So now we have one pocket there and one pocket at the back. So we have two pockets. And then we've got the other pocket. Goes on the base page. Again, just away from that inside fold so that the pages can shut nicely. And score that finish that down. So there we have the start of our little mini journal. Okay, next step is we are going to be embellishing our pages. So we are going to start with, this is how I mat my journal cards or photo cards. I just glue them onto a piece of cardstock and just fussy cut the edges. I find it takes less time than getting the trimmer out all the time. And they turn out just as nice. And that's how they turn out. So I have already pre-adhered all the cardstock mats to my journal pages, or to my little photo mats or journal tabs. And now we can start embellishing. So we'll start with these ones. I'm going to, excuse me babbling on while I'm doing this. Oh, my glue's dried out. I'm not adding any foam to this journal because I want it to stay reasonably flat. I'm just going to pop this one on here. And then we'll do probably this one. I have printed on the back of this one because you will see it, and just popping that on there so it's not completely white on the back. You can still see a little bit of the marble, pink marbling on there. Then we'll pop that one in there. Then we'll do this one for the center. And I might actually trim off a bit of this white border. I don't want it so white. Going to pop this one making sure that it's the right way up. Pop that one in the center. No glue on the back of it. And pop that one in there. I like to just have them on a little bit of an angle. And then the button. Is going to go this way. And then for that one, I'm going to tie a little bow again. Stick that one in the center. And that one's going to go in the top. And that's that page done. So now we go to the center. And for this pocket, I think I might use a little bit of ribbon. Place. Actually, I have to just snip that bit off. Oh, my little bow just fell off. Just take that out while it's drying. Just set him up there. So what are we going to put on this page? Do think that looks okay. Pop that one there. It's still able to close. And slide you under there. And I think we shall pop in a tag and a library card. And that one's done. So this time I've fussy cut this frame out, and we are going to make that one into a little photo area. So we're just going to glue down one side across the bottom and up that side, making sure I've got the pocket going up. And we can pop that one there, so that's allowing a photo to go in there. Put on that one seeker of everyday magic. So we'll trim that one down. You there and you there. Still close. And that's that page done. Can still close that booklet. And then over this side, I think we'll pop a little page tap on. That's all that one needs. Whoops. Fold that back out. So we've done those two, and over this side we shall do, let's see, I've got you, let's pop little roses up at the centre. Sounds like I've got a delivery coming. Of course, they always do that when you're in the middle of filming. Pop that one on there. And in here we can pop that one at the back pocket. And that one in the front, and we might get a little pearl for the top of that one. And that's that page done. So now we've got this page. Okay, I might do this one. Do this side and across the bottom and a little bit there, and this one is going to be a tuck spot to pop that tag in there, and that can fit on there. And then we might actually just do this one as another tuck spot. So something can go in that way, as well as in there. So we'll just pop that one in there for now. And we'll do probably a gold one on this one. Closing it over to make sure that it's not going to be too bulky with these pearls. And on this page, what have we got left? We can do again, I might just trim off this excess white. This time I'm going to cut off the little antennas. I might pop another little bit of lace across this pocket. So that one there. A bit. No, let's try something else. think we'll pop in a couple of those in there. And might do this one. Just do that. Will we do that off? No, we'll do that off this side. And I like to have those lifting off a little bit. And then I think that looks done. So it all just closes over. We've still got this pocket to put back in here. That's the front. We've got the pages. Oh, these ones we could probably punch out 4 little circles. That little dangle. Have the little page, covers the ends of your string. Then I think we can pop this one in here and 3 more tags. Can probably put little note card in there. Put both those little note cards in there. And then just do 2. we'll change that. So, there. And I think we are done. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. That's it for now. See you next time. Bye.